Greg Sturgill, and this is my wife, Melissa. We have been married for just about 17 years. Woo.
That's a good thing.
It's an awesome thing. Just talking about our marriage a little bit. When we first got married, actually we haven't, and we're talking about fighting and loving, and we really haven't had any knockdown, drag-out fights, but at the beginning of our marriage, we learned to sort of read each other just by, talking things out. There's one instance that I went on a hunting trip, and
And yes, he went away on a hunting trip with his friends for about a week.
Yep.
And he didn't call me for about 4 or 5 days. All the other friends' wives were saying, "Oh, have you heard from the boys?" And no, I didn't hear anything from the boys.
On my point,
So-
it's back in the day when we had cell phones that had only Michigan. Otherwise, it cost an arm and a leg. So my wife doesn't want me to spend money, so I didn't call her. So we had a little tussle about that, but we talked it out. And as we talked it out, I learned from her what she needed. And sometimes you just got to say, "You're right."
Yeah.
And then you move on. And that's the way we've been throughout our marriage, and it's been awesome. We put God and our triangle at the top of our triangle, and it's been that way since the beginning of our marriage, and it's been awesome. So
We got some good marriage counseling before we were married about doing that very thing, that if God is up here and you guys are here, the closer you grow toward the Lord, the closer you're going to grow together. And we feel like that's definitely been the case.
yes.
I will say too, early on in our marriage, I had high expectations for my husband. I think they were expectations that only God could fill, and I kind of had to learn that God only fills those expectations, and your husband can't fill everything. So once I let those go, I was able to thank the Lord for who my husband is and all the differences and the similarities that we have. But
And I
not
don't expect much. So.
That's horrible.
It's the truth. It's like we get along. We have an awesome marriage because we put God first in our marriage. And it's awesome.
I think part of it too is we see each other for who God has made the other person to be, and when you truly see that and you care about that person's feelings, you don't want to hurt them. You want to make sure they're okay and see what their needs are. And
another thing in marriage too that we, as a married couple, have made it our plan is to do your finances together. I mean, for Melissa and I, it has been from day one, we have done our finances together. And I think that is where a lot of couples get tied up in her money, his money. It's not even our money, it's God's money. And what you do with it is how your marriage will run even smoother. So that is our little story.
yeah.